Hi, and welcome to Sinatra CRUD app episode 4. In this episode, we're going to finish our implementation of two RESTful actions that work in conjunction, the new action and the create action. Just like last episode, I've created a new ERB file here, and you can go ahead and pause it so that you can type up this HTML code that you see here, and then when you're done, you can come back and we'll work through making this work with the actions that we have created. Okay, now that we have that HTML coded up, I wanted to point out one thing before we get started. You'll see in the form we have the action contacts and the method post, and that's going to line up with the verb and the path that we have here. So the method going to post and the action going to contacts is going to hit our post contacts route over here. And this is the only way to do a post request is with a form. You can't do it directly in the browser with the typical browsers that people use. So the form is the only way to do it. Now to get started, we're going to modify these two actions that we have. First, the new action, instead of this placeholder, what we're going to do is ERB the new file that we've created. So it's in contacts/new. Now again, this is going to be the file path inside of views, contacts new. So it's similar, in this case it's the same as this route, but it's not always going to be the same. This is the file system, this is what goes in the browser. So in addition to that, we're going to add a puts params in here because this form is going to create a lot of params for us that show up in the same place that we see the ID here, except there's going to be more of them. And we're going to see how those come out, and we're going to manipulate the name to see how it changes the params. So now that we have this set up, the first thing that we're going to do is check the browser to see how this form shows up. So we come up here and we put in the new action, and the browser loads our new form. And we can just put in a new contact here, pick whatever you like. And then click Create Contact. And then that will initialize the create action, and we see that that happened here. Now we haven't done the correct thing in the create action yet, and we'll fix that in a moment. But first we're going to see what the params look like from that request being made. And we do that by coming over and looking at our server log. So here we see how the params came out. We have a first name key with Sam, last name key with Smith, email key with sam@example.com. So there is a way for us to change how we build this form that will change what the parameters look like, and we're going to go through that now. So the way that we can make those changes is in our form, we change the name here. And since all of these are related to a contact, we're going to wrap them all with square brackets inside of a contact, just like that. So first name, last name, email will all be wrapped in the form as such. We'll save that. We'll go back and we will refresh our page. And I'm going to use the same contact. Feel free to use a different one if you like. And then we submit the form again. And after it goes through, now we can come over here and check our log. And now you see the difference is we have a nested data structure where our params hash contains a key called contact, and then that has all the keys and values for our contact. And that's going to be helpful when we use active record because we can just pass the hash that you see here directly into the create call, and it's just going to be a lot easier than going through one at a time. Particularly if we add new fields in the future, it's one less place that you have to make that update. So we'll get into the create action now. So in order to implement the create action, we'll come back over to our controller, and what we're going to do is use the information that was passed to us in the form and is now available to us in the params hash to create a new contact. So we'll say contact.create. And what we're going to do is access the params, and we're going to do contact just like that. Now, what this is going to give us is the hash that's available at the contact key, and that contains the first name, last name, and email. And Active Record's create method expects key value pairs to be passed in, so it will be able to create the contact based on the hash that we're passing in from params. And the normal thing that you're going to do is redirect, and usually you have two options: redirect to the contact that you just created or redirect to the index page. And for now, we're just going to redirect to the index page because we can code that in. We don't have to do anything dynamic. And you will do different things for error handling, and we will get to that in a later episode, but for now, we're going to assume success. Now that we have that implemented, we can go over to our browser and give this a shot. So we'll go back to our new, and I'm not very creative, so I'm going to use the same contact. We'll submit that request, and then we'll see the redirect to the home page, and there's Sam. We can also go to the show page for him, and we'll see that he's been created. So if we come back and we look at our log, we will see that there was an insert statement done here with the values that were passed in. And here's the params. The contact is the key, and that contains a value of a hash. And there's the first name, last name, and email that was used in the insert statement. So now that we have these done and implemented, we will, of course, make a commit. And we can see that we've changed the application and we've added the new ERB. So we'll add those. Episode 4. So now we've implemented 4 of the 7 RESTful actions, and our users can view all the contacts, view individual contacts, and now add new ones to it. And through the remainder of the episodes, we will complete the rest of the 7 RESTful actions, and we'll add in some error handling and things like that. So we'll see you next time.